And now it's our pleasure to welcome to the stage a tireless advocate for social issues, from gender equality to access to education, the First Lady of Guyana, Arya Ali.
I want to talk to you, the First Lady of Guyana. I mean, your work has been about a year in the making in this important role that you now carry. And you have three pillars: one in menstrual hygiene, the other in getting corporate Guyana to help fund orphanages through your country of about 750,000 people,
yes,
and also working for the improvement of people with disabilities. But let's start off with this, because gender equality, as Caden David will say, has always been at the heart of what One Young World does each and every year. When we look at gender equality, of course, many challenges remain in contemporary society. The World Economic Forum, as we all know, during the pandemic was talking about this growing gender gap. And in fact, they said it will take 108 years to close the gender gap that we currently experience today. The World Health Organization, which I serve, says 1 in 3 women globally are experiencing gender-based violence, not unknown nor unfamiliar to the people that you serve in Guyana. So what initiatives have you taken there to help reduce gender-based violence, but also with that big dream, and we should always have that dream of achieving gender equality for all?
I understand that gender-based violence is not synonymous to violence against women, but violence against women is much prevalent in my society. And as a woman in leadership, I believe it is my obligation to make representation for women who are victims of gender-based violence. Since assuming office, one of the initiatives I would have embarked on is to provide fully funded academic and technical skills training scholarships to victims of domestic violence who are in institutional care. This program aims to provide economic empowerment and most definitely to reintegrate them into society. So we all know gender-based violence exists because of an imbalance in power relations between men and women. And one of the main reasons that this happens is because women do not have equal access to the same economic opportunities as men. But why? Why aren't women benefiting from the same economic opportunities as men? In Guyana, the Ministry of Education conducted a countrywide study and found that girls are at a greater risk of experiencing learning loss or even dropping out of schools because of their inability to afford and access sanitary products. It was also found that just under 60% of all school-aged girls in my country found it difficult to either afford or access sanitary products. And this is why I would have embarked on an ambitious initiative called the Menstrual Hygiene Initiative. And this aims to ending period poverty in Guyana by providing every school-aged girl sanitary pads at no cost to them. This provides our girls equal access to educational opportunities by allowing them to attend school unhindered every day of the school year. A better education for our girls will mean better employment opportunities for them as women.
Arya, if I may ask you, you work with private sectors. One of the great pillars of your work is, as we said at the beginning, is engaging in getting corporate Guyana to fund orphanages through your country. With that experience of private sector very much in mind, a record number of women were leading Fortune 500 companies last year. And that's exciting news in itself. But if you look at the figures, if you unpack those figures, that's only 8.1% of female executives globally. Obviously, both of you speak from that leadership role. What do you think has helped you to understand and grow the representation of more women in leadership, both in private and in public sectors. But I suppose I want to ask you first, why does representation matter? We hear it all the time, but tell us why it really does count.
Well, it is my humble view that women are grossly underrepresented in both the private and public sectors. I believe, firstly, that there must exist political will to effect the kinds of changes that are necessary to ensure our women are not just present in leadership positions, but their presence are felt. And to answer the second part of that question, defending why great representation of women in leadership position matters is akin to defending someone's right to live. The fact that women make up just about half of the world's population is a sufficient enough reason for us to be represented equally at all levels of decision making. And for too long, we have sat on the sidelines and watched men make decisions that impact both our personal and professional lives, and we have had little to no input. No longer should we be complicit, and no longer should it be a man's world.
I just want to finish up with this. When you look out into the audience, and you've got thousands of people here in this room and thousands more watching on the live stream, many of them are at this really important moments that you and your families have gone through politically, where they're about to bring something and make it crystallize. What is the guidance, the moral guidance and the steering that you would give to them now?
My little advice to all of you is to just ignore the noise. It has been my lived experience. And the truth is, once you're doing work, good work, they will always make noise.
Yeah.
The naysayers and the critics will always have an opinion, and not necessarily a constructive one. They will seek to highlight your deficiencies or point out gaps in your work. Some will even use your age to say that you do not have the experience. Some will attack the way you dress, walk, or even speak, simply because they need a basis to attack your work. There is no avoiding this, take it from me. But if you want to achieve your objectives and create a real impact through your work, you must find a way to filter the noise. It is easier said than done, trust me. I know. But it is imperative to focus, to remain on what is truly important for the advancement of the Sustainable Development Goals. And that is to remain focused on the task before you, even while you seek to improve on your work every step of the way.
Woo! Great advice.